Now I feel good with you. You're not like the others. I saw admiration in his eyes. It's true. You and I are two kindred spirits, he said smilingly, looking straight into my eyes. A strong wave of tenderness swept from head to toe, making every inch of my body tingle. I could clearly feel how quickly the movements of my soul were changing, how my heart was beating faster. Feeling slightly dizzy, I leaned my arms on the bed, feeling that I was about to lose my head. There was an awkward silence, broken only by our intermittent breathing. I felt completely confused, not knowing how to act. Andre seemed to be feeling the same way. For the first time all day, he was truly confused. After gathering my courage, I turned my head and looked at him. The brilliant blue eyes were darting from side to side, giving away his master's intense excitement. I continued to stare at him, expecting him to say something. After a few moments, he stood up abruptly and silently walked toward the window. The atmosphere was becoming more and more tense. What was happening to him? Probably the same thing that was happening to me, wrestling with the unbridled desire to throw myself into each other's arms. I continued to sit on the bed, not realizing what was happening. I wanted to say everything at this very moment, but the words wouldn't come out of my mouth. I had no choice but to watch Andre, who stood silently at the window with his hands in his pockets. I was leaving the day after tomorrow, I said, feeling tears starting to well up in my eyes. When I heard that, Andre came to me with a stunned look and sat down beside me, grabbing my hands. How's the day after tomorrow? Why so soon? He whispered with frantic indignation. We've been here for 17 days, 15 days have already passed. Andre squeezed my hands to the point of pain, turning his eyes away from me. Now I understood everything that was happening to him. He's in love with me too. What should we do next? He asked me, perplexed. This isn't just friendship, is it? Do you feel something more like I do? His voice was full of concern. Before I could say anything, I felt his hot lips pressed passionately against mine. As I let my guard down, I wrapped my arms around his neck as I continued to kiss the irresistible man who was stirring my emotions. Letting his desires take over, he gently wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling my trembling body against his. The scent of his tan skin was maddening, and the passionate gleam of his playful eyes fogged my thoughts. I felt like our hearts were about to jump out of our chests. Unable to hold back the excessive passion, he began to unzip my dress, and I, breathing in the air that I missed so much, obediently yielded to his embrace. At that moment, I forgot everything, as if my memory had been erased for a while. The memory of the present and the past. There was only him and me, and this southern evening, which gave us the most precious thing that not everyone can experience in life. And this gift of fate, in which since then I piously believe, could completely change my life. I did not try to give a rational explanation for what was happening to us. Moreover, it didn't make any sense to resist passion as foolishly as trying to count all the stars in the night sky. No matter how hard you try to do it, sooner or later you will fail. In the same way, no matter how hard you try to turn your mind on passion, you won't succeed. Head over heels, that's what happened to us that July evening. I wanted to experience what passion can be and how crazy it can be. I was not frightened by his pressure, persistence, and strength, no. I was afraid that this evening would soon come to an end, that it would remain only a sweet memory of our sudden and strange meeting. At that moment, everything around us lost its significance and meaning, being somewhere in the background, beyond reality. We no longer tried to shyly look away from each other for fear of rejection. There was only our casual love, so ardent, direct, and sensual. Now I am not afraid to say such loud words, and I will never believe anyone who tells me that love comes only with time. No, it is not subject to time. It can only burst into flame when there is an invisible attraction between two hearts, which will then be passionately ignited. Perhaps one might think that I am exaggerating the strength of our feelings, taking them for a simple infatuation, which then really saved me. No, it didn't. What I felt then echoes in my soul today, 7 years later. That night an intangible connection was born between us, a sudden impulse that penetrated the depths of our souls, forever clouding our consciousness. And only time, so mercilessly flowing, did not allow a final escape from reality. On that warm southern night, I drowned in the stream of casual love and irresistible passion that carried me swiftly along its course. Our accidental love brought me back to life. How could I have dreamed of such a thing? Could I have imagined that this summer trip would become my dearest memory? No, I couldn't. Perhaps, deep down, I sacredly believed that someone could save my wounded heart from suffering. However, I didn't think it could happen in just one day. How could that be? I still don't understand. All I know is that it was love, a passionate but fleeting love that night that bound two lonely people together. It flashed like an instant, remaining somewhere out there, beyond the scarlet horizon of the sea. 2 days later, we parted forever. That's the way things were. The next day I had an accident and spent 3 days in the hospital. We didn't have time to exchange addresses. He went home the day before I recovered. Fate played a cruel joke on me, saved me from unrequited love, but took away my newly found happiness. What was she trying to teach me, and what was she trying to prove? Maybe that the beauty of love lies in its immediacy? That in this way she would avoid collisions with everyday life, which could turn even the most ardent feelings into mere affection. Maybe it was just a vacation romance to remain just a memory for two lovers? The only reminder of those 2 days is the letter he handed me this morning. Dear Now, the sun has just risen and I still can't sleep. While you sleep, I decided to write you a letter as a keepsake. To be honest, I've never written a love letter, and I have no idea how to do it properly. But I will not be equal to the templates and just tell you about what lurks in my heart. What has happened between us has left me speechless. I have never felt so tender, so passionate, and so madly in love. What is the secret of your charms? How did you manage to bewitch me in such a short time? Probably you don't know the answers to these questions, just as I don't understand how I managed to conquer you. I know that now you believe in fate. Nothing happens for nothing in life, and we don't meet random people. Everyone we meet makes changes in our destiny, both significant and insignificant. You have been my significant change, opening me up to a world of wonderful feelings. Tomorrow you will get on the train and leave forever, and I will have to live here without you for 2 more days, alone with the memories of your perfection. We will surely meet there, beyond our southern fairy tale. Whatever it costs me. Love, Andre.